Inspired by a comic, chess boxing was never meant to be just a sport. Chess boxing is a philosophy, not in the sense of life, in the sense of survival.
I'm Ipe Rubing. I'm a Dutchman from Rotterdam, and I'm the inventor and creator of chess boxing. You probably think, what the heck is chess boxing? Well, it's the combination of the number one thinking sport with the number one fighting sport. And ultimately, we're on the quest for the smartest and toughest man or woman on the planet. My father was a carpenter, he was a big boxing fan, he had a boxing bag in his carpentry, and we always used to box there. My mother didn't allow me to go to a boxing gym. I always wanted to go and fight, but she didn't allow me. My father taught me the game of chess. Years later, when I was studying in Amsterdam, I used to play a lot of chess with my friend Jean-Louis Veenstra, and then I moved to Berlin, and I picked up boxing in this old GDR boxing gym. And when I came back to Amsterdam, I met my friend Jean-Louis Veenstra in a bar, and we were having our second beer, by the way. And I told him, well, I feel great. I started boxing and you know, like gives me a lot of energy. And he says, wow, me too. And there were 5 friends and they all turned around and said, whoa, 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 are they gonna do a fight? Because you know how boys are. And he said, like, you wanna fight me? Yeah, sure, I wanna fight you. And then it all came together because I recalled this comic where there's a depiction of a chess boxing fight. And I said to Jean-Louis, we're gonna do a fight. But we're going to do it different, and we're going to measure ourselves on every potential level. We're going to do a chess boxing fight. He said, what? Let me figure out the rules. He said, sure, let's do it. And 8 months later, we ended up in an old church in front of 1,000 people doing the first chess boxing match.
Louis the lawyer, anybody Ocho, let's get ready to rumble your brain!
Yeah, the first chess boxing fight, was intense. It was my first boxing fight, and everybody who's been in the ring knows that this is like almost like losing your virginity. I wasn't the best boxer in the world, and neither was I the best chess player in the world, but we happened to be the first 2 chess boxers in the world. There were 1,000 people who didn't know what to expect in this old church, and we were really well prepared, actually. And we had an Alekhine defense with black, which is a very defensive opening, and because I knew I was the better chess player, I wanted to, you know, like, drag Jean-Louis into a complex situation. So I was better in calculating. And then it was the first boxing round. So the first chess round, then we went into the first boxing round, which is the second round. And after trading the first punches, it felt like, wow, this feels good. And it felt really good. Then coming back to the chessboard, in the third round, I overestimated my whole position and I basically destroyed my whole strategy, and I started pushing the F-pawn, which is basically the worst thing you could do in an Alekhine defense. My chess trainer was going mad. This is the hard thing, you know, to master in chess boxing, and this is what we train, but it was the first fight and it did everything wrong. He was pushing it in the chess. So I pushed it in the boxing round, but I couldn't get through. I mean, I got through, but he didn't go down. So that's when we ended up in the last boxing round, the 10th round. So I come out guns blazing. Jean-Louis Veenstra, he's not in the game, you can see it. He's not throwing any punches, he doesn't feel confident. Like almost every punch that I throw is hitting my friend. I'm ready to finish him off, and that was when the bell went off. And at this moment, people were just like completely into the game. People were screaming, thinking, what is going on here? This is so intense. These guys are fighting like crazy. They're trying to outwit each other on the chessboard. And you know, your heart is racing, and there's a lot of adrenaline and testosterone all in your body. I think I had like 2.5 minutes on the chess timer, and Louis had like close to a minute, I think. As a rule, in the end game, you always have to bring your king to the center to help him, you know, getting the pawns to the last row, and he's just not seeing it anymore. You know, he takes off my last pawn, which means it's a draw. It's a technical draw because black doesn't have any mating material. But I won every boxing fight, which would give me the win of the fight. He's not bringing his king into play, and it's very easy to see now But if you're sitting there with your heart racing, all these people screaming, you're full of testosterone and adrenaline, there's oxygen being pumped in your to your muscles, not a lot into your brain, it's really difficult to see it. And Jean-Louis is not seeing it. So now I've got the knight and my king on the last row defending with the last bits that I got. And he's not being able. And look at his chess timer. It's 6 seconds. He can still reach checkmate, but no, this is not going to work. I can still block it. I'm looking at the chess timer, 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. So I won the fight and became the first chess boxing world champion because Jean-Louis Veenstra exceeded his chess time limit. It was a draw in the chess, but I won all the boxing rounds. So that made me win the fight. But probably by now you think like, what are the rules of chess boxing?
In chess boxing, a match consists of 11 rounds. 6 rounds of chess alternate with 5 rounds of boxing, each round lasting 3 minutes. Each fighter has only 9 minutes on the chess timer. You win by checkmate or knockout, whichever comes first. Exceeding the chess time limit also leads to defeat. If there's a draw in chess, there's another boxing round. If there's no decision in that extra round, the boxing points are counted. If that is a draw, the one playing with the black pieces wins. If the referee sees that a fighter is stalling for time during chess, he gets a warning and 10 seconds to make a move. If he doesn't, he will be disqualified.
This dynamics of alternating rounds works very well. There's a lot of tension because somebody's trying to push it in the chess, the other one is pushing it in the boxing, and there's a great dynamic in there. The goal of the rule book was always that both sports had to be in balance. You can't rely on the chess, you can't rely on the boxing. They worked quite well from the beginning. We changed the rules a bit because the chess was too dominant. So we had 4 minutes of chess and 2 minutes of boxing, and we changed it to 3 minutes of chess and 3 minutes of boxing. And now we have more than 1,000 fights worldwide on a yearly basis, and we have the 60% statistic in the chess that fights are being won and 40% in the boxing. We're quite happy with that yet, but we're constantly monitoring the fights and the statistics.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.